Did you have a problem with those nine? Don't Brian me. Answer the question. Did you have a problem with those nine?
Brian,
then get the hell off my show and have a nice day.
Listen, the reason why I call is because some of the things that James Comer said about the panel that was picked for January 6th, and the fact that the House allows the Democrats and the Republicans to choose panel members. And the two that Comer selected to go on there was Jim Jordan and I forget the other guy's name. But
what do you think about that?
They were rejected. They were rejected by Pelosi. And I just called to ask, why did she reject those two to be on the panel?
Sure. Well, I'll give you I'll talk about the name that you referred to. I call him Gymnasium Jordan because this is a guy that enabled kids to be raped when he was an assistant wrestling coach. We know that for sure.
He knew about that?
Yeah, I spoke to him.
Did you know about that?
Yes, I actually you've been listening to my show for a long time. I've interviewed two people that were actually on that team that said that Jim Jordan begged them to not make the story public, and I believe them over Jim Jordan. Number two, Jim Jordan has never passed one bill his entire career in office. This is not a serious congressman. This is not a lawmaker. This is a noisemaker. Number three, they have been investigating the Biden crime family, as they call them, for several years. They have come up with literally nothing. So let's review. And I don't defend Nancy Pelosi, by the way. I don't want her in a powerful position. I would like someone else to take over. So I'm coming from a place where I'm not even a big Nancy Pelosi fan. However, I would not hire Jim Jordan as a crossing guard. I would not hire Jim Jordan as a security guard. I wouldn't hire Jim Jordan to flip burgers at McDonald's. He is not a serious person. He certainly is not a lawmaker. Yes, I believe he enabled and he allowed children to be raped when he was an assistant wrestling coach, and he has never passed a bill in his life. Herb, do you disagree with anything that I've said?
Well, yeah, I disagree with a lot of stuff you said, but
okay, well, tell me.
AOC's never passed. Well, wait a minute. AOC's never passed the bill either, but you want her to be the next president, possibly, and the next vice president.
Okay, so let's review.
I mean, there's a lot of people in Congress that you support that haven't done anything. But my question originally was, why would she, the fact that she was the Speaker of the House at the time, she doesn't have the right to say, well, you Republicans we're not going to allow them on the House committee because of the fact she doesn't like them, or the Democrats didn't want them. That wasn't the point.
So hold on.
It gave them a different perspective on that board.
Okay, hold on a second.
That hearing.
Hold on a second. You just said Ocasio-Cortez has never passed a bill. The H.R. 10489 bill, the H.R. 1014 bill, the H.R. 10287 bill, the H.R. 10193 bill, the H.R. 10150 bill. I could name you probably, actually I have it right in front of me, a dozen more bills that she helped pass. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Jim Jordan has never pushed a bill past Congress. AOC has passed dozens of bills. You don't know what you're talking about. So that's number one. Number two, Ocasio-Cortez never enabled children to be raped or kids to be raped. That's number two. Number three, Ocasio-Cortez hasn't gone on a venture for several years for her constituents, saying that she was, for example, going to put Donald Trump in jail. That's exactly what Jim Jordan has done. So when you say AOC hasn't passed a bill, she's passed dozens. And by the way, there is zero comparison between Ocasio-Cortez and Jim Jordan, a man who came from wealth in his life and a woman who paid to go to school. I believe it was Boston College. And people like you want to make fun of her for being a bartender, or at least people on the right, where she worked an honest job. Okay, maybe not you, but you just lied about her because you were unaware that she's passed.
No, I didn't lie about her.
You said she didn't pass any. You said she. Okay,
Brian,
then are you misinformed?
She was co-author, Brian, let me say this. She was co-author of those bills, as Jim Jordan has been co-author of bills himself.
Name me a bill.
My point being is
Name me a bill that Jim Jordan helped pass.
You're evading my question.
No, you said something that's not true.
Brian, that doesn't give the Democrats the right to deny the Republicans some representation on that hearing, on that board, for the January 6th hearing.
Is that against the law?
The fact that what?
So you're saying the guy who's defied a subpoena for years, who won't answer questions under oath in regards to January 6th is the guy that you want on that panel. Is that what you're saying?
Brian, Holder, the Attorney General, defied a subpoena.
Right. So Herb, I'm going to do something I've never heard.
With these things,
Herb,
you don't respect the fact
Herb,
that Democrats have done the same thing.
Okay, Herb.
But you don't bring that up.
Herb, you just mentioned AOC, and I proved you wrong. But I'm going to do something on this show now that I rarely ever do. We have a caller that would like to have a conversation with you, Herb. Are you willing to do that?
Listen, I'm not into debating.
You're not into debating, but you call it. You're not into debating. You're not into debating. You're not into debating. You're not into debating. You're not into debating, but you're willing to call into the show and lie about Democrats. Is that correct, Herb? You don't want to debate because you would lose. You don't want to debate because you would lose. That's why, Herb.
No, Brian.
Yeah, Herb. Yeah.
Don't use me to build up your ratings and stuff like that. All I'm
My
saying
ratings?
is you cannot
what are you talking about?
What question?
What question? What question?
The question is, what gives the Democrats the right to deny the Republicans some representation on the January 6th committee?
By the way, here's where you're, and again, are you going to shut up and let me answer? Are you going to shut up? Then I'm going to pod you down. You ask a question, you shut up, and you let the other person answer it, you dope. That was not just Nancy Pelosi. Those decisions were made up of Republicans and Democrats, including Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney, to name a few. So it wasn't just Nancy Pelosi. Number two, Jim Jordan has a say in what took place on January 6th. He was in direct contact with Donald Trump, and he has defied a subpoena. For a guy that has defied a subpoena for years, that's probably not a guy that I want on a panel to find out the truth when I believe he was directly involved, and that's why he will not testify. So for you to come up here and say it's just Nancy Pelosi, that's a lie. For you to say that Ocasio-Cortez has never passed a bill in her career, that's a lie. Jim Jordan has not passed a bill since he has been in office. Ocasio-Cortez has been a major sponsor of dozens of bills that she has helped pass. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. It is not against the rules or against the law for a committee to allow certain people and not allow certain people. For example, I bet you weren't complaining when 9 investigations. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think it was fair to have 9 investigations into Hillary Clinton when it came to Benghazi and not allow any Democrats on any of those committees? Herb, do you think that was right when they not just did 1 investigation, but 9 investigations full of Republicans? Herb, were you calling into radio shows, conservative shows, complaining about that?
Brian.
Don't Brian me. Answer the question.
What you do
answer the question. Pot him down again. What you do always is you don't answer direct questions. You have a problem with some Democrats that didn't want Jim Jordan on a committee investigating January 6th. My question to you is, did you have the same problem when Republicans were running 9 different investigations? Let me repeat. 9 investigations on Hillary Clinton when it came to Benghazi. No Democrats on those committees. Herb, answer the question. Did you have a problem with those 9? Don't Brian me. Answer the question. Did you have a problem with those 9? Then get the hell off my show and have a nice day. You won't answer a direct question because you're a hypocrite and you're a MAGA clown. That's what you are. Brian. Nancy Pelosi didn't allow Gymnasium Jordan on the January 6th committee. A guy that's defied, by the way, a subpoena for years. Brian, they didn't allow Jim Jordan on there. Okay, Herb. What's your name? What about the 9 investigations into Hillary Clinton when every Republican was on those committees investigating? They did it 9 times. Herb, did you have a problem with that as well? Brian, this is what you always do. You're right, Herb. We agree. This is what I always do. Call out hypocrisy and stupidity, and that's exactly what you are.